People, even strangers, will often discern that I have a slight Midwestern accent, or I like to call it a lack of accent. Midwesterners get a bad rap for their speaking ability. Did you see the movie Fargo? Conversations go something like this. Hey, how are you today? Good. What's going on? What's happening? Oh, not much. Did you hear that the neighbor killed his wife? That's so. I thought maybe it was time to take this interpersonal communication manual seriously. In the interpersonal communication manual, speech number 1, it talks about the levels of speech. Small talk, fact disclosure, viewpoints and opinions, and personal feelings. Now, level 1 is small talk. And you shouldn't think of this as unimportant. It's where you talk about the weather, the traffic in Houston, current events, which you can replenish that by reading the newspaper. In the level 1 conversation, when you meet someone, you should be deciding if you want to move to the next level with this person. Level 2, which is fact disclosure. In fact disclosure, you will disclose not such personal things, but things like work, your hobbies. Unless your hobbies are quirky, and then you probably won't. At this point, you're still deciding. Do you want to go to level 3 with this new person you've met? Level 3 is where you can express viewpoints and opinions. You could even get into religion and politics, because you've weighed that, if this person and you are ready for that, through level 1 and 2. Level 4 is where you get into personal feelings. That may take several meetings, it may take months, and it may take years before you want to get to that level with a particular person with whom you're conversing. At this point, I would like you to have in your mind's eye the idea like in the movies where the scene goes dark. And when the light comes back on, I've run into Cheyenne at a party. Hey Cheyenne, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. I didn't know you were going to be here today.
Oh yeah, I just come to here for fun.
Yeah, do you know a lot of the people here?
Oh, I don't know.
No?
Yeah, this is my first time.
Your first time, good. How was the traffic when you came over?
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
But I'm glad here, earlier.
Yeah. Good. Now, where did you come from? Where are you working?
I come from Houston Airport System. Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been at that job?
Almost 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
It's a good job?
I like it. Yeah,
Good.
it's a challenging job.
Good. Now, in Daybreakers, who did you tell me is your mentor? Do you have a mentor yet?
Yeah, I have a mentor, Annette.
Annette is your mentor.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. You know, she'll do a great job.
I think so.
She can
Yeah.
answer
Because we do the topic. I like it.
Yeah. You like how she does that? Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. Well, we have Daybreakers meeting in the morning early, so I think I'm going to leave this party and get home and try to get a good night's sleep.
I will wait until finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see you in the morning then.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. The scene goes dark again in your mind's eye, and when it comes back on, you're magically back at the Toastmasters meeting. As I said, the 4 levels are small talk, fact discussion, viewpoints and opinions, and personal feelings. Now, Cheyenne, how did you feel we did in our conversation? Did we follow all the levels?
Yes, I feel comfortable, and that is very good. And I like, the way natural, so that people feel comfortable. Yes.
Because what you don't want to have, and you may have had this happen to you, is you meet someone and you're talking about the traffic, and they catapult to the next level start to tell you about their spousal abuse and you take a step back and literally and figuratively want to run the other way because you don't know what you're getting into. So knowing the levels is important. I'd like to open it up to the audience. How do you think Cheyenne and I did? Any questions? Any comments? Did we follow?
Am I correct in assuming that y'all got all the way to level 3 because you expressed personal opinion about how well Annette would do?
Yes.
That the fact changing was her disclosing her job, but the small talk was how was the traffic coming over and all that. So what is level 4?
That's where I start to tell her about my messy divorce.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to go in a few years. Right.
I think you gave a great example of how to be a fantastic conversationalist.
Yes.
Because you asked questions so that Xiaoyan will go home and think, wow, Connie is the most wonderful person to talk to because she gets to talk about herself. But you asked them in such a subtle way that it didn't seem like you were grilling her.
Right.
Because you were the more experienced person and she said she was a newcomer. So you made her feel at ease. It was an absolutely wonderful demonstration of how to keep a conversation like that going and flowing smoothly.
Okay, good.
Wonderful.
Keith, did you have something?
Just another comment. Anytime you speak to anyone, there's two ways to ask questions. You can ask questions closed in or open in.
Good
You kept
point.
it going about asking
Yeah.
open-ended questions, which is extremely important in any type of environment that you're working in or
Okay,
personal.
that's a good point. Anybody else? Carol?
I just had a question. If you're in a big party and you get stuck talking to Cheyenne and you don't want to talk to her anymore, what's a graceful way to bow out?
Well, the green tag's on.
An inquiring public needs to know the answer to
Can I
that.
respond to that?
Sure.
The perfect thing to do is to introduce her to someone else that you know at the party. Just that she was the newcomer. She doesn't know anybody. Just pass her along to someone else and let her meet someone else.
Thank you, Cheyenne, for participating. Well, I appreciate, I'm sorry, Bill.
That's somewhat disingenuous. I think if you engage someone in conversation, be careful what you ask for. Because if you pass her off to someone else and you're really not interested anymore, then were you genuine in the first place in engaging the person in conversation, or were you using technique? So I do think if you want to get out of the conversation, then you have to ask yourself, why did you get in it in the first place? You're really not interested in the other person, or up to a point.
Well, sometimes you just want to spread yourself around her. It's not that you are disinterested in her. It's just you've extinguished level 3 and you're not ready to move to level 4. So.
And also,
And like you did, you said that you needed to go. You ended that conversation.
you run into people where you